Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for invocation, that will be led by the pledge by members of Boy Scout Troop 12.
Let's pray. Our dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. We thank you for the yesterday as we celebrated our country's independence, and we just thank you for the grace that you have placed us here. May we be good stewards of it. And tonight, may we be good stewards of what is before us as a city, and may we take this responsibility not lightly, but take it full on. Bless us now, and thank you for this time, and may what's done here be pleasing to you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ms. Ulmer, the roll, please.
Harry Hodge, Ward 1. Jay Stepp, Ward 2.
Here.
Harry Roth, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Gary Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
Taft Wren, Ward 6.
Thank you, Meredith. First order of business is the approval of our meeting minutes from our last meeting, and that was on June 21st. Council's had an opportunity to read these over at a time, and Chair will entertain any edits or motions.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Ms. Ulmer, you've got some other minutes that need to be approved. If you'll start us off with that, please.
Yes, this is a request for the approval of the property acquisition executive session meeting that took place April 19th. This is where council discussed the purchase of the Dabbs property, and y'all agreed to pay $200,000 per acre. These minutes have been these minutes have been reviewed by city attorney and are recommended for approval.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second that motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Archer, you have the next item.
Yeah, this is the second reading of the change in the ordinance regarding fire alarms for homes, business, and security systems. It's been a problem with false alarms having to be responded to. This change allows invoicing for excessive fire alarms as opposed to issuing citations, same as it was in the first reading, and we recommend approval.
All right, thank you. Any questions or discussion on this item? And if there's not, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Mr. Menino, if you'll get us started on SU 18-02.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is actually a second reading. There have been no additions or changes since the first reading. It has been properly posted and advertised, and there appears to be no conflicts of interest. This request is a special use permit application for 927 Tennessee Street. I believe it's Treasure Chest is the name of the business that's there. The special use permit is to allow for limited outdoor storage of landscape supplies or materials in the MU zoning district. They're looking to specifically concrete statuary, fountains, and bird baths. They're looking to connect two buildings with a decorative fence and place those objects back there. With that, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this application.
Thank you. Questions for Randy at this point? Thank you, sir. I'll open up a public hearing relative to SU 18-02 and open up the floor for anybody who may wish to speak for or against. They may step forward and do so at this time. And if you would, sir, your name and your address for our clerk.
Jim Garnto, 11 Chestnut Street, Cartersville, Georgia. And Randy pretty much covered it. I'm just here in case you got any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you. Anybody else wishing to step forward, speak for or against, may do so at this time. And seeing none, I will close the public hearing, turn it over to council for your consideration.
I can make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I did skip an item. I will gracefully go back to that one. Ms. Brock, if you will get that one to us.
Thank you. This is the annual occurrence allowing council to accommodate for Civic Youth Day. This year's Civic Youth Day is scheduled for September the 20th, so the time of the meeting will change from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or discussion on that? If there's none, a motion would be in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Menino, I think you do have the next one. Yep. Thank
Mayor and
you.
council, we were looking to expand upon our software that we utilize within the planning and development department. Two more elements, City View Mobile and the City View Portal. The mobile will allow access for our code enforcement office and our building permits and inspections for the ability while in the field to input data, to keep from duplicating effort and so forth. The portal portion will eventually allow for online payments of licensing and permits and hopefully make it easier for staff and the general public. With that, the cost purchase of the software, the total of the two was $28,602. I'd mentioned in the work session, I actually budgeted $28,000, so it's $602 over what was budgeted, but we do have money in another section in their operating expenses for computer equipment and software upgrade, so I'll move a few dollars there from that account. With that, we respectfully request your approval of this purchase.
And I just want to make a note that what this software does, as you mentioned in the work session, is going to allow, it's going to be a big benefit to a lot of our businesses. I'll let you share what this software really does.
Oh yeah, again, right now, when it's licensing season, we have a couple thousand licenses that need renewal. They're either mailing them in, waiting for us to package it up, mail it back to them, or they're coming and waiting in line in our office. Eventually, they're going to be able to just fill it out online for a renewal, and it'll be sent to them automatically. That, along with certain permits where the appropriate data is already in our system to be able to purchase online, hopefully cut down internal traffic, and make ease of operation for the business owners and builders and contractors.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or discussion on this? And if there is not, a motion is in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. We advertised bids for our signs, for our park entrances. This would be 2 signs for Sam Smith Park and 1 sign for the Dellinger Park. These signs will be made of redwood. They'll be approximately 11.5 feet in length, 4 feet in width. This is just some samples. They will be, I think you asked if they were going to be sandblasted, and they will be routed, is what the lettering will be. We haven't chosen a color yet. The top part was meant to be sealed in a natural stain, and then I think the middle one is something similar to what we have now. So, but anyway, we got 3 bids back. I'm recommending the low bid from New Beginning Signs of Cartersville, the amount of $9,460, and this is a budgeted item from the jail bond fund.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Greg on this? And if not, a motion.
Motion to approve the signs.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Mr. Molinax, you've got the next one, please, sir.
Mayor, Council, the Water Department recently installed a backup diesel generator for our water pump station on Center Road, and we need to secure that now, and so bids were received for installing a vinyl coated chain link fence around the generator. We received bids from Cartersville Fence Company for $6,325, ABC Fence, a bid of $6,500, and Bartow Fence submitted a bid of $7,678.42. We recommend award of the low bid to Cartersville Fence Company in the amount of $6,325, and this was a budgeted item.
Okay, thank you. Questions for Ed on this? And if not, a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second the motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mayor Pro Tem Cooley, I'm going to let you handle this next item, as I'll be recusing myself from this item, please.
All right. Dan will handle that.
The mayor, a minute, step out, if that's all right. Yes, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council, this is for engineering and installation of a new fiber customer. We have an agreement tentatively in place with Rycon Management to serve the Booth Western Art Museum, TELUS, their corporate office, and Grand Theater, and the New Savoy Auto Museum, which we built in less than 2 years at basically a 1 gig point-to-point service. It's not internet service, but it's a 3-year agreement to serve them. We do feel that once we start serving them with the point-to-point, they'll come to us for the internet service, which will actually reduce the return on investment. Total cost we project is $109,100. That's including our fiber cable and handholds. What I bring tonight before you is NCI underground. We prefer to go underground with fiber along 411 to serve the TELUS Museum. There'll be some other customers along that route that we do project that we're going to try to market to them if this is approved. Cost for NCI to do the underground is $81,800, and Luppman Byers Engineering to do the GDOT permitting, the engineering that's required for that is $8,200. I recommend approval of both of those agreements.
Are there any discussion?
Dan, just, we've had rumblings about potentially getting all the way out to the park. Does this get us closer to that, or is it another direction?
It's another direction. I asked that question of the fiber guys, and this is a different direction. But this obviously gets us closer up 411 to serve, the motorcycle place and some other potential customers. And, eventually, if we go that route, get across 75 under, so there's other potential along the way.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Motion carried.
Aye.
All in favor? Motion carried.
Unanimously.
Unanimously. By everybody.
Yes, sir. This is a City Fuel Station. As you recall, on the Balfour Beatty is a construction manager for us for that project. They also bid the fuel station out for us, but we felt we can do this ourselves, contracting directly with a service provider. We sent out bids. We received 5 of those back. The best bid that we have is from Guardian Fueling. And once you add, we also looked at some other additional options after we received their initial base bid for fiberglass pipe installation and the retractable dispensers for the fuel pump. We will add additional costs. It's a total not to exceed of $225,188.07. This is about, if you take on Balfour Beatty's 3.25% markup, and also we have a fuel master system from our existing fuel station that we included in our bid, which was not included in Balfour. It's about a $60,000 savings, but I do recommend Guardian Fueling quote from them.
Okay.
I'll
Any
make a
questions?
motion. I'll make a motion to approve it.
All right.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Continue on.
Yes, Georgia Public Web is basically a subsidiary of MEAG, which serves fiber customers. There's about 30 cities in the state of Georgia that are part of that. Last year, you recommended me for a representative to sign for any agreements with Georgia Public Web for requesting the voting as a voting delegate. Also, so they sought me to be on the board. Lamar Greason was on the board prior to that. But I'm recommending approval to considering myself as a voting delegate is also be signed for the mayor to sign a letter to allow me to run again for re-election.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on, Dan.
USIS is our third-party administrator for our workers' compensation. They've been in existence, been with doing that service for us since 2007. And I recommend approval of this agreement for $9,900 as a budget item through our workers' compensation fund.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Last one for you, Dan.
Yes, sir. It's a Hydro Engineers for a new Fire Station 3 in Village Hill Drive. The first agreement is for $30,500. It's for subsurface testing for the new fire station building. They have to test about 6 or 8 spots out there. And then the next is for the construction materials testing. It's a standard we have to go through with any construction process. That's for not to exceed $24,367.20. Both these items will be paid for out of 2014 SPLOST funds.
Discussion? Not a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dan. Mr. Hill, you got the next couple.
Good evening. The interdevelopmental agreement, this is for the city with Bartow County. This is in regards to the Cass White Road that's being realigned out there. And it's actually the part that's gonna come from like Pettit Creek over to like 411. And we have easements in there. This is gonna protect our rights on these easements. And it also will allow us to invoice Bartow County for like $70,000 on this. We look for this total cost to be about $120,000. And this is something we've known has been coming. It is a budgeted item.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? If not, a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Continue on, Michael.
Okay, Toyo relocation. They're putting in a new railroad spur up there. And they had, where they're wanting to put it is gonna be right over where their service line is that we had installed some 10, 12 years ago. So they're wanting us to move it. It's only about 300 feet, not even 300 feet of pipe, actually at 6-inch high-pressure steel. When we had spoke with them, we had intended to contract this out because our guys stay pretty busy, and we haven't done any contracting for quite a while. We went and put out bids. We had 2 people that bid on it, one company out of Ackworth, another one out of Forsyth County. They were $106,000 and $96,000 respectively there. We had told these folks it'd be between $25,000 and $45,000. So we decided we would do it ourselves. So we're doing this for them for $33,000.
Okay, great. All right, any questions for Michael on this? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Carries unanimously. Thank you, Michael. Chief Carter, you've got the final item tonight, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening, everyone. With the addition of the new fire truck that we've just added online, this will allow us to actually surplus one of our trucks. And I'm coming before you tonight to ask you to consider surplusing our 1996 Sabre, which was a reserve for several years. We have been directly contacted by Haralson County government and also Haralson County Fire Department. You may remember that several years ago that we helped them out with a fire truck that was actually a training truck for us. And they made this truck their first out fire apparatus. So they've approached us about this potential truck. We did deal with 10-8 Fire Equipment, who is our Pierce dealership. We've asked them for an evaluation to the cost of what the 96 Sabre would be worth. They have given us a price of $10,000 as the proposed value of that particular truck. We have removed all usable equipment from the truck that we can still maintain and use in the fleet. In discussions with Haralson County, we have reached an agreement for a potential sale of $9,000 as is, no warranty either given or implied. So I would ask tonight for you to consider the surplus of this truck and then to do sale directly to Haralson County at the price with those stipulations, and ask for a legal or whoever to draw up the required documents that we may need, and also authorize the mayor to sign any and all documents that may be necessary for the surplus and for the direct sale.
Any discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Let's enter the business that needs to come before council this evening. I do just want to take a second to thank the city staff that while many of us were enjoying the 4th of July holiday, had to get out and work. I know police, fire, public works, parks and rec, just about every department there is has people that are working while our folks are, while most of our residents are out having a good time, and so appreciate job well done, and by all accounts everything went pretty smoothly yesterday, so appreciative of that. So that being said, anybody else? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Adjourn. Not get a harumph by that guy.